It's a Wellness Wednesday, and I wanted to do today a little live on a question that I frequently get asked about digestion. And this is a message that actually came through to me from someone who is actually wanting to help their partner. It was like, I'll just read you out the text. It says, "Hi, how are you? I just wanted to contact you as my partner has tummy issues, IBS symptoms. She's in pain half the time after eating. Any suggestions to ease this?" So I thought I'd speak to that today around digestion and pain after eating and what it actually means if we're experiencing symptoms when we're eating or pain after we're eating. So first of all, trying to ease it is usually if it's bad enough and we're in discomfort, trying to ease that pain can be the first thing we want to do because we want it to go away. And often we will get desperate when it's really bad and then we forget and then we don't do anything about it. But we've got to start looking at what's the cause of the pain, like what's the real driver of it. And so then there'll be things in what I'm going to say that are going to help ease the discomfort. And then there's also things like doing deeper work, which is actually going to resolve the issue. And I see this a lot with people, and there can be a lot of different reasons for it. So first of all, the basics of digestion is this. When we digest our food, there is a lot of processes that happen starting from when we smell our food. We make saliva, it goes into our stomach. Our stomach has a pH of about 2. It's really acidic to be able to unravel proteins. So proteins are like these tight balls of wool that need to be unraveled, and then they need to be chopped into single amino acids for them to be digested. Our food, the stomach acid is also to mush up our food. And of course there's going to be a leaf blower start as soon as I start this. And I don't know where my headphones are. Okay, we'll continue on. Hopefully you won't be able to hear it. So the digest. Oh my god, the joys of doing life. You right outside my window too, far out. So the purpose of I get distracted. The purpose of doing digestion, like having stomach acid, is that you can mush up your food enough, because it then needs to go from our stomach, which is not up here, which is here, into our small intestine to be broken down so it can be absorbed, because that's where the absorption happens, in the small intestine. Now, if we have a condition that is known as leaky gut, this process, once it gets into the small intestine, can be a little bit off. Often we will not have enough stomach acid, and so what happens with that is, because what the stomach acid does is it unravels our protein, it mushes our food up, but it also helps release enzymes. Like, it has a knock-on effect to release enzymes, and enzymes help the chemical process, like so the digesting of actual food into single molecules such as glucose to be absorbed into the bloodstream. That process, if it is slow and we don't have enough stomach acid, will then inhibit the production of enzymes, slow down the production of bile being released from the gallbladder, and bile is to emulsify fats, to also get rid of contaminants from the liver. That's how it works. It comes through the bile into the digestive system, and then it's released. So if this process is in somewhat dysfunctional, we then will not be breaking our food down properly. And then in the small intestine, we have these little tight junctions that are like bricks, and they're designed to open and close. It's a single layer of cells between our gut and the bloodstream, and they're designed to open and close and to let molecules food in. What happens is, if it's leaky, it opens further than what it should, and it stays open, and then we're not digesting and breaking our food down properly. Different pathogens aren't being killed off, all sorts of things, and it's going into our bloodstream and causing inflammation, and there'll be this dysfunction of bacteria in our gut. We won't be breaking food down properly. We're not making enough stomach acid. So understanding this whole process really does actually begin first of all, with chewing your food. Second of all, and eating in a relaxed state. But second and third of all, having enough stomach acid. And a lot of us don't have enough stomach acid and don't make enough stomach acid secretions. And so therefore then we are deficient in being able to break our food down. So then when pain happens, and IBS symptoms, I always go all the way back and go, okay, well, what's happening in the whole system? When we don't break our food down properly, we're not making enough stomach acid. So when we have pain, it's like, first of all, where's the pain? So you might want to keep a food diary and a symptom diary and start tracking things and seeing when it is. Is it as soon as you eat? Is it 2 hours after you eat? Is it 4 hours after you eat? What connections are you making with what food you eat? And sometimes this can be really hard. And this is why then I often get people to do elimination diet. And there's a few big contenders with this, like gluten being one, dairy being the other, and then there'll be some other random things that can cause food intolerances too. Not random, but not as common. Gluten, dairy are the big ones. Eggs, nuts, peanut butter, because sometimes peanuts and peanut butter, that, which by the way is not a nut, it's a legume. Different grains, they're the big ones. So, and even sometimes sugar, if people are not absorbing it. So it's like, what actually happened? Like, because pain for you after eating can be different to pain for someone else eating. So you've got to start to really break it down and just start to become aware and bring some awareness into what's actually happening. Keep a food diary, keep a symptom diary. Where is it in relation to your cycle? Is it in the mornings, in the afternoons? How do you feel after you eat certain foods? And then you may want to remove the big contenders, and I would start with gluten and dairy. And this is what I do with people when I work with them. But also I've got a 28-day reboot running at the moment, and we remove some of these big foods because people don't realize how bad they feel because you don't know what you don't know, and your normal is still that's your normal. And then what happens is when we remove them and start to nourish the body, people start to feel better, and they're like, oh my God, it's like lifting the veil, like lifting the fog, clearing the glass, like we've been in a foggy mirror in a foggy bathroom with the steam on, and we're finally like cleaning the glass and we can see. And that's what literally for a lot of people can feel like. So what are the symptoms? Where are they? If you are, and it could be a combination of things, it could be food intolerances. Food intolerances are connected to leaky gut by not enough stomach acid. And the hint here is also when you're tracking your symptoms is to go, okay, what are my symptoms like? Am I bloating? Have I got reflux? How do I feel? Also, what are my bowel movements like? So am I going in the morning? What are they like? You may want to go and Google Bristol stool chart and look at it and go, okay, am I having a bowel movement every day? Am I being regular? Which, by the way, if you're not going every day, you're not regular, and that needs to be addressed. And then even by looking, observing that can tell us a lot. Like, I can by me asking the right questions to people, I'm like, I can tell if you're not breaking your fat down properly, or if you're not absorbing your food, or if you may potentially have like different issues going on, like thyroid issues, just based on what's happening with your digestion. So that's one. And then the other thing you want to do is go, okay, looking at your symptoms, like if you're bloating straight after you eat a meal, and it's when you eat certain types of carbohydrate, it could be a condition that's known as SIBO, which is known as small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And this is basically when we've got little microbes, because most of the microbes, or the microbiome, whatever verbiage you want to use, they live in our large intestine, but what happens is they travel a bit upstream, and this is from low stomach acid. And then what happens is we don't break down our carbohydrate. It goes into our small intestine, and then bacteria has a bit of a party. It will eat the food, and it creates a gas, and the gas will push back up through the stomach, and often either create reflux by pushing back up the esophagus, through, we've got two little valves that are meant to stop that, but they can only be sealed shut if if it's of the right acidity. If it's not acidic enough, it won't seal shut. So having that gas pushes back up, that can create reflux. That's often what reflux is. People often think reflux is too much acid. It's actually often, for the most part, not enough. Or it can cause bloating from the gas that's made in the small intestine. And there's definitely testing that you can do for this to get your head around it. But it starts with going, okay, understanding what your symptoms are and going, you know, like, what are my symptoms? Like, what do I need to do, and what testing do I need to do according to my symptoms? So they're the main things. Then you want to go, okay, well, I need to actually work on improving my stomach acid is one thing. So there's a couple of things you can do which are really simple. First of all, eat in a present state. Like, eat, relax. Don't eat in front of the computer, don't eat in front of the TV, don't eat in front of your phone. Take some big deep breaths when you eat. And eat in a relaxed state. Chew your food 20 to 30 times. And then you might want to also, as you're preparing your food, have some lemon and warm water to help. Anything bitter foods will help increase stomach acid. You may want to also incorporate, you can get gentian as a herb, as a little tincture, or you can have some digestive enzymes, and this will actually also help increase your stomach acid and help also increase the natural production of your own stomach acid secretions and enzymes. And the enzymes as well, by taking some digestive enzymes, which do, by the way, naturally will decrease with age anyway, will help you break your food down and help to start to relieve some of those symptoms. But then you've got to come underneath and go, okay, what else is it that needs addressing? And often the time it is also stress related. And you've also got to do things from a very holistic, bird's eye view of managing your health. It's not just like, let's just fix the pain and move on with it. It's like, okay, what are all the other components that are triggering the stresses in my life, and what else needs to be looked at, what needs to be tested? One thing I tell you with testing is a lot of people are low in zinc, and we need zinc to make adequate stomach acid. And so if we're having these digestive symptoms and we're low in zinc, we're not going to be making enough stomach acid. We're not going to be able to break our food down. That's one example. So all of these things give us clues. So if you're watching this and this resonates, and please ask any questions in the comments. If you do feel like you would like to chat to me a little bit more about this, I will put a link to my website in the comments, and there is a booking link in there that you can book in a free health assessment with me. It's 20 minutes. We can have a chat, no strings attached, just to see where you're at and what's going on for you, and whether we would be the right fit if you are interested in getting some extra help. So I hope you found that helpful. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I will see you guys soon. But I'm going to make this more regular Wellness Wednesday thing for you. And I'll see you soon. Ciao. Have a good day.